As technology continues to evolve, it's becoming increasingly important for businesses and individuals to stay vigilant against cyber attacks. With the rise of powerful web interface survey tools like Kraken, even novice hackers can easily identify vulnerabilities in web applications and use them to launch various attacks. In this article, we explored how hackers can use Kraken for bad and provided 3 detailed examples. We also explained how people can protect themselves from these types of attacks. Kraken, the efficient way to test your web interfaces. Web interface testing can be a time-consuming and challenging process. With the sheer volume of web applications available today, it can be challenging to ensure that your interfaces are functioning as intended. The good news is that there is a tool that can help make your web interface testing workflow more efficient: Kraken. In this article, we will explain what Kraken is, how it works, and how it can help you and your team with web interface testing. Kraken is a web interface survey tool that uses Django, Apache, and a MySQL database to store and organize web interface screenshots and data. Kraken allows you to take notes and track which hosts have been tested simultaneously. You can then use this data to generate reports that help you identify issues and make informed decisions. With Kraken, you can streamline your testing process by keeping track of which hosts have been tested, which interfaces have been checked, and what issues have been found. This allows you to focus your efforts on areas that need improvement, rather than wasting time retesting interfaces that have already been cleared. Kraken makes it easy to work with your team to identify issues and track progress. You can add notes to individual screenshots and share these notes with your team, which helps ensure that everyone is on the same page. Kraken's reporting capabilities allow you to create customized reports that provide the data you need. This can help you identify trends, track progress over time, and make informed decisions about your web interfaces. Whether you are working on a small project or a large enterprise application, Kraken can help you ensure that your web interfaces are functioning as intended. Give Kraken a try today and see how it can help you with your web interface testing needs. Kraken is a powerful web interface survey tool that is primarily designed to help software developers and security professionals efficiently test web interfaces for vulnerabilities. Unfortunately, like any other tool, Kraken can also be used by hackers for nefarious purposes. In this section, we will explain how hackers can use Kraken for bad, provide 3 detailed examples, and by the end, explain how people can protect themselves from these attacks. Kraken can be used by hackers to scan websites for vulnerabilities that can be exploited. Once hackers find these vulnerabilities, they can use them to launch various attacks, such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and file inclusion attacks. Hackers can use Kraken to find these vulnerabilities in a matter of minutes, which can save them a lot of time and effort. Kraken's ability to take screenshots of web interfaces can also help hackers identify other possible attack vectors. One example of how hackers can use Kraken is by using it to find SQL injection vulnerabilities. SQL injection is a type of attack that allows hackers to inject malicious SQL code into a web application's database. Once they have access to the database, they can steal sensitive information, modify data, or even delete the entire database. With Kraken, hackers can quickly identify SQL injection vulnerabilities, which can be exploited using automated tools. One of the most popular tools used for SQL injection attacks is SQLmap. SQLmap is an open-source tool that automates the process of identifying and exploiting SQL injection vulnerabilities in web applications. With SQLmap, hackers can quickly identify vulnerable parameters in web requests, inject malicious SQL code, and retrieve sensitive data from the database. SQLmap can also be used to perform advanced attacks, such as privilege escalation and command execution. Another tool commonly used for SQL injection attacks is Havage. Havage is a commercial tool that automates the process of identifying and exploiting SQL injection vulnerabilities in web applications. Havage can be used to identify vulnerable parameters in web requests, inject malicious SQL code, and retrieve sensitive data from the database. Havage also has advanced features such as automatic database fingerprinting, password cracking, and shell execution. Finally, there is the tool called DorkNet. DorkNet is a tool that allows hackers to perform automated searches for web applications that are vulnerable to SQL injection attacks. DorkNet uses advanced search queries to find websites that are likely to be vulnerable, and then uses automated tools like SQLmap and Havage to exploit the vulnerabilities and retrieve sensitive data from the database. Another example of how hackers can use Kraken is by using it to find cross-site scripting, XSS, vulnerabilities. XSS is a type of attack that allows hackers to inject malicious code into a web application's pages. Once the code is injected, it can be used to steal user data, redirect users to malicious websites, or perform other malicious actions. With Kraken, hackers can easily identify XSS vulnerabilities, which can be exploited using automated tools. A third example of how hackers can use Kraken is by using it to find file inclusion vulnerabilities. File inclusion is a type of attack that allows hackers to include arbitrary files on a web server. Once they have access to the server, they can modify files, upload malware, or even take control of the entire server. With Kraken, hackers can quickly identify file inclusion vulnerabilities, which can be exploited using automated tools. To protect themselves from these types of attacks, individuals and organizations can take several measures. One of the most effective ways to protect against attacks is to keep software up to date with the latest security patches. Additionally, using secure coding practices and performing regular security audits can help identify vulnerabilities before they can be exploited. Using a web application firewall can also help prevent attacks by blocking malicious requests before they can reach the web application. Finally, implementing a strong password policy and educating users about the importance of security can help reduce the risk of attacks. Conclusion: Kraken is a powerful tool that can be used for both good and bad. While it can help software developers and security professionals test web interfaces for vulnerabilities, it can also be used by hackers to launch various attacks. By understanding how hackers can use Kraken, individuals and organizations can take measures to protect themselves from these types of attacks. It's important to stay up to date with the latest security patches, implement secure coding practices, perform regular security audits, and educate users about the importance of security. With these measures in place, businesses and individuals can reduce the risk of cyber attacks and safeguard their valuable data. If you enjoyed this article and found it informative, please consider liking, sharing, and commenting on the video, as well as subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on future content. I am always looking for new ideas and suggestions for OSINT tools to cover, so if you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. Additionally, if you would like to support the channel and help me continue making more videos, please consider donating to my PayPal account. All donations will go towards improving the channel, including investing in new tools and equipment, as well as supporting my psychology degree, which is a costly endeavor. Your support means everything to me and will help me continue to create quality content for years to come. Thank you for your time and support, and I look forward to continuing to provide you with valuable information on OSINT tools and techniques.